You know what time of year it is, right? Hallmark has started rolling out their Christmas movie schedule, which means I know what we're going to see. I'm sure I'll watch at least three princesses who just want a normal life, and one small town baker who somehow owns a four-bedroom craftsman and who has no credit card debt. And after that, I'll probably catch part of a Real Housewives episode where somebody's casually hosting Christmas dinner under a 15-foot chandelier while they're wearing sequins before noon. And then, since I apparently enjoy this emotional whiplash, I'll flip to HGTV and I'll watch a couple renovate their entire house. They'll have a new kitchen, a new bathroom, and a personal breakthrough, all before the commercial break. It's just a lot. And still, I watch them. Like, I like the cozy Hallmark fantasy, even as monochromatic as it is. I love the Housewives sparkle and the HGTV productivity. But when you line them up back to back, it's kind of hilarious. Each one is selling its own version of beautiful living. Hallmark says it's peace and candles. Housewives say it's glamour and square footage. And HGTV says it's hustle and transformation. And somewhere in between, we start quietly grading our own homes against those make believe ones. It's not intentional, but it happens. Now, of course, we know none of those versions are real. They're edited, they're curated, they're pretending that the homes are either spotless, enormous, or instantly fixed. So, today I want to talk about what each of those shows gets so wildly wrong about what real beautiful living looks like and what we as choosy organizers actually do better. And I think you'll see what might be worth borrowing from them and what's just good TV. I've watched my fair share of Housewives over the years: New Jersey, Beverly Hills, and all the rest. They all have slightly different flavors, but there's the same hum underneath. Like every scene happens in a house that feels just a little too big for any one person to fill it with real life. There are those grand staircases, the foyers are echoey, the kitchens are spotless, and you never see anyone messily chopping onions or leaving butter all over the counter. And yet, chaos seeps in, of course, maybe just not where you expect it. Like the homes look controlled, but the relationships are explosive. The spaces are perfect, but the energy inside them is just anything but calm. I always find that really fascinating. All this beauty, all this abundance, and still there's no peace. It makes me wonder if those homes are really just set pieces for self protection, right? Like when you can't control the people, you control the aesthetic. When you can't guarantee belonging, you build a world that's so visually flawless that no one can question you. It's like the decor becomes their armor, these women. Everything is shiny and curated and symmetrical. It's like proof that they're holding it together even when they're not. And there's another layer to it too. These women are constantly performing being seen. Their homes are extensions of their personal brand, right? The homes are stages and costumes all in one. And so when the cameras leave, well, every now and then you'll catch a glimpse of somebody sitting in sweats, eating takeout at the kitchen island, and it's finally quiet. Those are such interesting moments because that's when the house starts doing what homes are supposed to do: hold you, not present you. Now, from a beautiful living standpoint, the thing most people miss is that the housewives aren't failing at domesticity. They've just delegated it. There's staff and an army of assistants, stylists, and organizers for sure. The homes run, but often the living happens elsewhere. It's kind of an odd trade off. All that square footage and so little room to breathe in it. When I watch Housewives, and I'm sure you see this too, I just see women with gorgeous houses and almost no privacy. It's not that they get it wrong, it's all likely very intentional for the show. They show what happens when home turns into theater And the safety and refuge that your home is supposed to offer you gets edited out. And then there's HGTV. That's the land of the cheerful hosts and a bunch of sledgehammers and that eternal big reveal. Yeah, I love it, but let's be honest. That 40-minute transformation is usually months of construction cut down for pacing for TV. We hardly ever see the permit delays or the cost overruns and the contractor no shows, or the nights that the family has to eat cereal because the oven's still disconnected. What I find interesting isn't just the speed, it's the sameness. And I'm sure you've seen it too, how every remodel lands in the same color palette, right? It's a white kitchen, open concept with subway tile and quartz. The result photographs beautifully, but a lot of houses start looking like one long HGTV montage. And that's the quiet trade off, you know. Individuality gets lost to the resale value of these homes. The safe choice always wins for these shows. And designers talk about it, how the network wants spaces that feel current on camera, which often that means neutral, tidy, and really trend friendly. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's different from real life, where personality and function matter more for these families than the show's ratings. The illusion isn't just that change is quick, it's that change is permanent. On screen, the couple might cry happy tears and everything's solved, but in real homes, new systems still need maintenance or clutter creeps back. The family's taste might shift. So progress isn't ever one big reveal, it's just dozens of ongoing quiet resets over a long period of time. When I watch, I remind myself that my before and after, it might take a year, and that's fine. A house that grows with you is always going to be the house that just films well. And then we end up back in Hallmark land. The snow and the candles and glowing windows, it's comforting. And that's the point of these movies. Every scene is a postcard, and they want you to practically smell the cinnamon in the houses while you're watching. I don't think I can watch more than 15 minutes before I'm yelling back at the TV. Like, who does that? Who says that? Whose house looks like that while they're baking at their bakery at 4 a.m. and then they're taking care of lost dogs after that and they're being a lawyer on the side? Okay, so those homes are little miracles of editing. You will never see the extension cords or any storage bins, and you definitely don't hear them agonizing over where to put all of this stuff after Christmas. The calm that you feel on screen is totally choreographed. We know that. Someone's already cleaned it and already staged it, and it's already lit just perfectly. But you know, one nice thing about those Hallmark homes is that everything seems to matter. The ornaments have a backstory, the mugs have meaning, and they make the house feel layered with memory. What's missing though is the emotional work of living with those memories, right? The part where you have to decide what stays, what goes, and what gets packed away. So when I watch for those 15 minutes that I can stomach it, I don't wish that my house looked like that. I just notice what it makes me feel. The longing for maybe quietness and for having some family rituals, that sort of thing. That's real. The rest of the sauces is all lighting and editing. When you put these shows side by side, I think they reveal different myths. Yeah. So, Housewives make beauty a performance. HGTV makes change look fast, and Hallmark makes peace and calm look effortless. None of it is really wrong. I mean, it's entertainment. But when we unconsciously import those myths into our daily lives, we start to feel behind for no reason. So, what I've learned watching them all is that there's always a little truth hiding underneath all the sparkle and all of that. You just have to catch it. So, from Housewives, maybe it's this reminder that beauty is allowed to be expressive. You can love color, you can have sparkle, you can create a little show if it makes you happy. The difference is doing it for you, not to prove anything and not to use your house as your armor. From HGTV, take the structure. They plan, they edit, they decide what stays, they bring order to chaos. And that part is useful. But let's take away the timeline pressure. You don't have to reveal anything. You can work in chapters. Your home is an evolving project, it's not just a single makeover. And from Hallmark, maybe we keep the calm and the small rituals, the candles, and a sense of comfort. We can just drop the illusion that it's effortless. Calm takes upkeep, and that's okay. You can have cozy and real life. So maybe beautiful living is less about resisting those fantasies from the TV shows and more about editing them for ourselves. We can take what works for us right now at this moment. We can leave what doesn't work for us. And you can let your own version of your home unfold at its own pace. And I think that's the part that most people get overwhelmed by. You don't have to pick one ideal, one specific goal for your home. You can be a little housewife sparkle, a little HGTV systems, and a little Hallmark glow. That mix is where I think you're going to find that your home actually supports you. So the next time you're watching these shows, say it out loud. Don't compare. Don't compare. Observe instead. Ask yourself, what do I actually like about this? What does this make me long for or wish for? And how could I create a tiny, realistic version of that right here in my own space? Sometimes it's as simple as lighting a candle before dinner or finally rearranging the living room furniture so you can hide the toys behind the couch, or just letting one corner of your bedroom be calm instead of perfect. That's the part that the cameras never show, right? The small, steady, personal version of transformation. And that's where beautiful living really happens. So, listen, if this episode took even just a tiny little bit of pressure off you feeling like your home won't be great for the holidays, please share this with a friend who might need the same reminder that a home doesn't have to be camera ready to be beautiful and supportive, okay? And as you head into the season, let the shows just be what they are: entertaining, inspiring, just over the top. And remember that the home you come back to at the end of the night, that's the one that counts, okay? Have a beautifully organized week, you guys. I'm Z, and I'll see you on the next episode.